All right. Welcome to the session of Philly by Night. Before we go into the session, please remember this session may contain and is not limited to body horror, mutilation, manipulation, gaslighting, use and abuse of disciplines, raised voices, possibility of violence leading up to final death, possible methods of torture, starvation, and mentions of religious extremes. For your safety and the comfort of your ST team, there has been a series of emojis in the stoplight system. We are going to be doing check-ins as session goes. You may either state your color or post the corresponding in beta chat. Proceedings will happen in accordance to what color is posted. Do we all consent to this?
Yee.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Songbird, give me one more blood surge. You still have a superficial damage.
Oh yeah. I passed it.
Who hurt my
Excellent,
baby?
excellent.
I still at Hungy 1.
Yes, and this was from the sparring coterie session.
Yee. Oh, I gotta get the things prepared.
All right. Songbird. As you rouse from day sleep, your blood surges forth, but you do not. Your beast does not pull at you. It does not force you to be hungrier as a result of you enduring another night. You rouse and you almost automatically blush, feeling your skin revive in a sense. You watch the color return to your hands, the tips of your fingers turning a little pinker than normal. The various colors lighting up your veins. As you wake, and it is an hour before sundown. You are on a boathouse. You are aware that your guardians are not awake yet. They have not roused. And you're also kind of aware that you shouldn't go bother them before sundown. So what does Louisa do during this hour?
So she's excited because she got her first pay from the lounge, I would imagine, by now.
Mm-hmm.
So she is getting 2 little boxes ready, making sure they look all pretty with the nicknames she has given her adopted sires on them in colors that she thinks they would like, and is making sure they look really, really nice on the table. And then once she thinks that looks really perfect, she's going to go and start getting ready for the night.
Okay. So you're just making the boxes look really nice and set up?
Yeah, like she probably just used like printer paper and colored it so it looked like it wasn't just wrapped in printer paper, because she's still a broke bitch. And like again, tried to make them look prettier than they were, and then goes to get ready.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a charisma plus craft, please.
I mean, that's not a terrible pool because of charisma. But it's also not my best. I got 1 success.
It certainly looks wrapped, but it's on the same it's on the same skill level as like a 3 to 5-year-old wrapping a present.
Good enough. Good enough.
And
Adorable.
like it's like that whole deal of when you turn wrapping paper inside out and you color on the other side and then you kind of clumsily wrap something. It's on that kind of level. I
It's on
imagine that
brand.
she also got some dollar store Crayola markers,
Yep.
like
Like-
off-brand Crayola markers.
Yep, she literally got the like bargain bin supplies to wrap this.
Okay. As you are. Okay. Is there anything else that she does? What does
After
she?
that, she starts to get ready for the night, starts getting dressed, putting on makeup, putting on her, like, lacing up her boots. I think her boots are laced. Putting on her really tall boots, making sure her weapons are all good for when they go out.
Okay. So as you're getting dressed, and as you're putting on your face and getting everything nice and ready, you would feel your beast kind of calm as the sun sets. And you would know about this time is when Gavin and Rosemary would be waking up.
And she'll just be
Rosemary.
sitting. Oh, you go.
You go.
No, you go. You said.
She would have made sure that she is completely done up before exiting the room.
Gavin is like the moment that he rises from torpor, he goes and rolls out of bed, goes and finds his record player that he brought in from Chicago, and puts on Papa Loves Mambo, and will actually because he wakes up actually fairly not hungry, so he's actually in a decent mood, and probably would dance with dance a little bit with Rosemary, and kind of, even though she is insistent on not coming out fully until she's actually fully dressed and done up and whatnot. When he realizes that she's not going to come out, he will he'll wiggle his way out out into the main area, see Louise, dance with her a little bit, and then basically sashay his way back into the bedroom to get ready. This is a common occurrence for Gavin because Gavin's just, that kind of person.
Rosemary would have danced with him a little bit until she was like, "All right, okay," like before he had gone off with just dance with Louise and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they're done, I assume make their way out to where Louise is.
Okay. When you get to Louise's room / area, you would see a couple of very clumsily but very affectionately wrapped boxes. You would assume are boxes anyway. They look box shaped.
Did she do full on ribbon, or did she use tape to close
She
them
probably used tape, and there's how sometimes when you miss folding it over, there's a sticky part that's still there's still probably sticky bits out. It's really badly done. One says Serena for Rosemary, meaning mermaid in Italian, and one says what does Gavin say again? Where is your name? One says onde, which means waves in Italian. And
What's
they would
this?
know that. Oh, I got my first check from the lounge, and I got you guys something.
Gavin will smile, and he'll like look at Rosemary out of the corner of his eye. Most likely, like a night or like the previous night, he would have shown that letter to Rosemary that we got from Islington.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he will smile at Songbird, look at Rosemary out of the corner of his eye, and then just kind of nod at her, and he'll be like, "Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. You didn't have to do that. My money is supposed to be for you."
But I can spend it how I want, and I wanted to spend it on you two. Because you do a lot.
Gavin will nod, and he'll come over to the table where the gift is at, and he'll pick his up, and then he will pick up Rosemary's and hand it to her when she comes over with him.
Yep, she'll come over and take it from Gavin when he hands it over. This is very sweet. The best gift, though, is seeing you come into your own. Keep it up. She'll boop her on the nose.
Ooh.
She'll start opening the box.
Gavin is trying to open it because he's not 100% sure that there isn't something that is violent in here. And like he just wants to make sure if it spills out, it doesn't like go off or anything like that because of the way how it's wrapped. So he's being very ginger about it as he's opening it.
And I put in beta what you two got. They are keychains. Gavin's is one that says, "I rather be surfing." And Rosemary's is a mermaid tail that says, "Make waves."
Adorable.
Hey.
Adorable.
And when Gavin sees his, he will like look at it and he will get a little. It seems like he's getting a little misty-eyed. And then he'll just kind of look and he says, or he doesn't really say anything, just kind of nods, and he will fish out of his pocket the keys for his Hudson Hornet, and starts to basically add the thing to it.
This also kind of helps me out so I don't accidentally take your keys again. But I thought you would like them.
Accidentally.
We all put them in the same little catch hole. Sometimes I grab yours on accident, and then I'm like, "Oh wait, these aren't my keys. Whoopsie."
Rosemary is currently threading hers on the set of bracelets she's got on.
I love it. Thank you. Honestly.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. This is a very sweet gesture. Now, the rest of them, you hold for yourself.
Fine.
We still going out shopping tonight, right?
Mhm.
There's a few boutique stores that I caught that are open this late and whatnot, so we can hit up whatever it is that you need to pick up for yourself.
Okay.
He'll sit down at the table, look over to Rosemary, and kind of give her that like look of like, do we want to do this now or before we leave, or do we want to do this later?
She'd just nod and go, before we leave, though, I think we need to talk about something.
Is it about the missing T-Rex? Because it was in the news that the T-Rex is missing.
It's rapid blinks.
You
Yeah,
two-
both of them.
If either of you pay attention to the news, y'all would have seen that on the store in the
I'm
past
gonna-
couple of days.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Rosemary Wood at least.
It's not so much like Gavin's rapid blinking is more along the lines of that, like, he knows about the stolen T-Rex. What he's wondering is how is that associated with her, and he's about ready to ask her. He's like, Sweetling, are you trying to tell us that you stole a T-Rex skeleton?
No, one of my coterie mates messaged me that it was stolen, and I thought it was a joke. And then he said no after we went sparring, and I went to go feed because I kind of like wanted to punch out his guts for a hot minute. Well, I didn't, but the beast did. He texted me to check in on me, and then told me that the T-Rex was stolen from our haven. And I thought it was a joke because that's a really big thing to steal. And then he was like, "No, it's actually stolen." And then, yeah.
Gavin's got a thoroughly surprised look on his face.
Well, that's not a thing that we can really handle right now. That's not a thing that we can tackle in this moment, is it? Keep us posted on that.
Okay.
No, what we wanted to talk with you about was a letter we got from Primogen Islington. You know him?
He's Maddie's sire. Is he mad that her and I sparred? I
No.
didn't hurt her. In fact, she
No.
flipped me.
Nothing about
Mm.
sparring. You know what? She's just gonna go get the letter and hand it to Louise, and it's going to just basically say that an older Lasombra like messed with her. Too long didn't read.
I've read the letter. I have been shown the letter.
Okay. So yeah, Katie knows what the letter says. So that
Katie knows what the letter said. Songbird, this is the first time she's reading it, and she just I mean, yeah, she used her tentacles, but
how?
well, she wrapped me in them. And then was like kind of
Excuse her?
like rubbing my neck. And she'll like rub where she was bit.
Did you want her to do that?
I mean, it didn't hurt.
Did you
Did you-
ask for it?
No, I didn't ask for it.
Then she has no right to touch you. You're your own
Hands or
person.
shadows?
Yeah, but I was also the only fledgling in the group.
That
Doesn't
has
matter.
nothing to do with it. Weren't you? The letter said something about being on a mission, right? Okay. You guys were handling a job together, right? So that's not even remotely an appropriate time for her to be trying this power play with you. Just because you're younger doesn't mean she had any right to get in your personal space.
Well, technically it was her shadowy tentacle thingies that got in my space. She stayed and she'll like motion like she stayed away.
There's still a part of her.
She controls.
Still something. Yeah. Just.
What
One of
happened?
the things.
Well, you go first.
I was going to say, no, let's find out what happened first. Let's hear it from your perspective, Songbird.
Well, okay. First of all, don't wig out if you see some really weird rats. Mr. Q said he's gonna send them to invite me over to sing. Because he heard me singing and he really liked it. But I was helping him find the rats who he calls his friends, because he said a bunch of them have gone missing, and Mr. Zero and Miss Lenka went to go investigate further because Zero found something in one of the tunnels, which was what we think was keeping the rats from going back to Mr. Q. And then we were talking a little bit, and then we were discussing families because they found out I was a fledgling, and they were all Ancilla. Well, they were all elder. I don't know what ranking they are, but I know they're not fledgling. And then we were discussing what clans I thought they were based on what I've noticed, and then that's when she wrapped me in her tentacles and called me a good girl.
She what?
Yeah, Gavin grips the edge of the table and there's a splinter. Just a splintering sound.
She called me a good girl. And she'll fidget with her hands a little bit and like twist her little pinky ring.
Gavin's just gonna look over at Rosemary for a moment or two.
Rosemary's immediate instinct was to look at Gavin, so just direct eye contact, like, what the fuck are we gonna do about this?
Gavin will look back over to towards Songbird and he'll say, Rosemary and I are more than aware of some of the things that you got up with Luca and other things like that. You and I and Rosemary also know that a lot of that stuff requires consent and you wanting it if you ever so desire it. Nobody should just be doing that to you because it's a power play or they feel like they can pick on you because you're younger or anything along those lines. We're in a city full of monsters. And even if we are monsters ourselves, we can't let them take advantage of us. So, we would ask you, I'll look over at Rosemary, don't be alone with this Lenka anymore. If you can help it. Rosemary and I will talk to each other about what we'll do about this. Because we need to make it very, very clear that this is very inappropriate.
I did put in my report to the Seneschal what happened.
Good.
Good.
And Mr. Zero was also asking about a siren when it came to Miss Lenka. And
Unfortunately,
I'm guessing he's the one that told Mr. Islington. Because they're both Tremere.
That would make
Gavin's gonna stand up because he's noticing something a little bit about Songbird in this instance. He's gonna like come around the table, very gently put a hand on her shoulder, above board, like, in that fatherly sort of way. But he is going to look her in the eye and basically kind of, got that commanding presence that Gavin usually has in order to get her to look her in the eye without touching her face. No fingertip underneath the chin or anything along those lines. It is a simple look me in the eye kind of look. And he will say, you're not in trouble. You didn't do anything wrong. You're okay. We just worry about you. You are our sweet little sister. You have so much potential for doing amazing things with the gift that you've been given. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that are going to notice that gift and think that they can take advantage of you. You're strong. One day this isn't going to be as much of an effect on you, or one night it's not going to be as much of an effect on you as it currently is right now. We'll get there. Baby step. We got eternity, right?
Mhm.
Good. Besides, we're here in Philadelphia. Luca's all the way in Chicago. He can't bother us here.
Mhm.
He'll let go of Songbird at that moment. He'll turn and he'll look towards Rosemary, and Gavin's got that look on his face of just like, I'm gonna kill a bitch.
Rosemary will she'll just kind of like smile at him and who all right, sailor. It'll be fine. We'll make sure of it. Like you said, you're not in trouble. But we can't let something like that stand, and that's what we're here for.
So,
But I think we might need to teach her how to hold her own a little bit more in situations like that. Looking at Gavin.
absolutely. One thing that you'll definitely want to learn how to do, and this takes time and is a learned skill, is standing up for yourself. I know you're really good for standing up for other people. We've seen it. But you gotta make sure that you stand up for yourself too, okay? Because just as much as they're important, so are you. And sometimes it's okay to be just a itty bit selfish. Just a itty bit.
Yeah, but they still rank higher than me. So how do I do that?
Well, that is.
You can show respect to someone for their rank and still maintain respect for yourself. They're not mutually exclusive.
There are. And that respect can come in a lot of different forms. So ultimately, orders are orders. But the thing is, I don't think this person that you spoke with, they may have been older than you. Heck, they may have been a neonate or an ancilla. But unless they hold a court position, like a sheriff or a seneschal or a primogen or anything like that, you owe them nothing if they give you an order. They're just older than you. What's important are the people that are actually in charge, not people who say they're older than you. Just because they're older doesn't mean that they deserve any respect or that you have to listen to them. Take our family, for instance. We all descend from Lodin. Olaf himself was a 7th gen. Horatio, your grandsire or your great grandsire, he's an 8th gen. We're all 10th gen. Luca's 9th. kindred of our generation, we don't get this young. We're usually not this young. Usually kindred of our age, usually kindred of our generation are hundreds of years old. And some of us only have like a couple of decades, or in your case, only 5 years. But we Lodenites, we show that it's nothing to do with age. Nor does it have anything to do with our generation. It's the power that we wield, the stubbornness that we bring to bear, and to show what we're willing to do to get the job done. Right? You'll smile. Exactly.
Mhm.
Age don't matter. Only power does. And if they're in a position of power, you gotta listen to orders. We're Camarilla, the tower. It's what we do. But don't you let anybody who says that they're older than you ever use them. Okay?
Mhm.
Good. Anyway, well, lessons will continue. We'll get you there. And we're all learning at the same time. Rosemary and we've only been at this for a while too. And we're learning just as much as you're learning. So, and I don't know. I think we're pretty good at this, don't you? Kind of hip bumps Rosemary a little bit.
I'd like to think so. And she'll just sort of scratch his back a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, he'll shiver and purr. So, we ready to go shopping?
Mhm.
All right. Gavin is gonna go and finish getting himself ready. Give Rosemary and Songbird a moment or two to be alone while he goes and does that.
She'll probably finish cleaning the gun that was probably like still half apart and put it in her big purse. She's bringing the big one today.
So, Songbird,
Mhm.
as your sires are explaining this to you, after you have told them what happened during your Seneschal board mission, and their reactions, and your almost subconscious discomfort, how are you feeling? What's going on in your head?
She is feeling a little conflicted because she's like, yeah, I should stand up for myself. I should like do what my sires are saying. We're Ventrue. We're not only are we Ventrue, we're from Lodin's bloodline. And like we should do that, but also at the same time, but even though they're not court members, they're still neonates or ancilla, or they're not fledglings. So like I still gotta respect them for their rank, and it's just she's very conflicted about this right now, but wants to make them proud. So she's gonna at least attempt.
Has this sort of thing ever happened to Songbird before?
Probably while in Chicago. Most likely.
People,
Oh, you go.
people exerting various forms of emotional, physical, and mental control over her because of their ranks.
Yeah, I would imagine so, especially with Luca.
Did what happened remind her of Luca?
Oh yeah. It most certainly did.
Does that make her uncomfortable, or does that make her miss him?
It makes her miss him a little bit, especially with the new development.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she'll start to fidget with her necklace and rub her neck.
You may proceed with conversations from here.
Funnily enough, Rosemary would ask Songbird, so about that offer I made a while back when we first got here. How have you been feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling really good right now.
Would there be any way for Rosemary to pick up on huh, she should be struggling a little more if the blood bond's coming off, or something like that?
Roll me a resolve plus insight. If you have aspects with heightened senses, you may add your dots and aspects to it. Songbird, are you trying to mask?
Yeah, she'd be trying to mask. She doesn't want to upset her sister.
Can I blood
Okay.
search?
You may. Composure
Alright.
plus a subterfuge. Songbird, please.
Composure and subterfuge.
Ooh.
Remember, add your hunger after the roll.
May I also blood search?
You may also blood search.
We're up to 2.
You may, don't forget, add your hunger after you do the roll.
I will. That is 2.
And but your difficulty is 2.
Well.
So, what you would be able to read, Rosemary, is that while she doesn't seem to be suffering from the effects of withdrawal, she also seems to be trying to hide that she is not suffering from the effects of withdrawal. Because you are aware that some kindreds suffer from conditions where bonds can last longer. Or where they may seem to crave the bond more than others. And you are insightful enough and you know Songbird well enough to have speculated at some point that she may be one of these individuals. But for her to try and hide these symptoms is unlike her.
Just going to raise an eyebrow. Kind of get thin-lipped for a second, raise an eyebrow. What are you hiding from me?
You promise not to get mad.
If you have to ask me to not get mad, that tells me you know I will.
Yeah. Well, so the night of the sparring, I got home and there was a package for me. The one you guys saw, and then there was another package, and well, I was asked to do a job and got a list of names.
Okay. What does that have to do with you hiding how you're feeling? Or not?
Well, the job was from Sir. And that's why I asked you guys to go shopping with me, because I need a new suit. because I left all my white ones at home.
He contacted you?
Yeah,
Gavin!
Gavin is gonna step out in that really nice suit that I have him wearing. It's got the whole collar pinned, a nice white shirt, black tie, all vested up and everything. He'll step out and he's like doing the cufflinks on his shirt. He'll just kind of look and says, "Yeah, what's up?"
Luca contacted Songbird.
Gavin will kind of pause. He'll look over at Songbird. No, he didn't. He said
Gave her
that.
a job.
He'll kind of put his arm down. Cufflink is kind of half done at this point. He'll look over at Songbird. How did Luca contact
he called me.
you? We changed phones.
I know.
Where is it? He'll open his hand. Give it to me.
She'll pull out the Nokia and hand it to Gavin.
Where'd this come
He'll
from?
look at it. He kind of like will wave the phone and he says, "You sent her a burner." He'll open it up and there'll be a number in there for Luca, but it's marked as Sir. Is this all he sent?
No.
What
What
else
else?
did he send?
And she'll just start like rubbing her neck.
He swears in Italian. He's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill him."
This is why I said what I said and offered what I offered.
It's not now, please.
He told me when I was very suspicious because the mailman was still outside our door really late and wouldn't leave until I opened the package from Sir. And then when I wouldn't open it right away, it started ringing. And then I answered it, and then he told me to drink what was also in the envelope.
Gavin's gonna hang his head at that point. He's going to. There's like a moment of reluctance, but he will actually reach out and put the phone back into back into Songbird's hands. And then he's going to. Give me just a second here. You know what? Gavin is actually going to go sit for a moment. Like, he'll take a couple of steps away. He's going to sit down, kind of put his elbows on his knees, and just kind of like hunch there for a moment, like he's thinking. Rosemary and Songbird, though, would be noticing that this is what Gavin does when he's trying to control his temper and not actually start like yelling or like going off cuff or anything like that. He's basically just sitting there and he is counting jellyfish.
Why is he so proud? How long ago? How many days ago?
The night the T-Rex got stolen. So a few nights ago now?
You drank what he sent?
Yeah, I drank it all.
What job did he have you? What does he want you to do?
He said there are some people that are hiding, and he wants me to take care of them.
What people?
Their names are Ridley O. Katie is gonna butcher this last name. Kaylee, Tilly Hall, and Severo Salucci.
Quick question, storyteller. Does Rosemary or Gavin know those names?
They don't ring any bells. But if you want to look for any kind of context of why she may have been given names that you don't recognize immediately, both of you give me intelligence plus streetwise.
Gavin is kind of okay at this role. But he's gonna blood surge on this. And you know what? We're gonna try to crit fish.
Hey. Well, dang.
Yay!
When you go to crit fish, you really crit fish.
And I know Gavin's really good at fishing, but Jesus Christ.
Rosemary, there are a lot of different reasons why Luca sends Songbird after people. It could be anything. The number of reasons for these seeming unknowns to be chosen kind of dwarf what you're able to narrow down. Gavin, with your 7 successes with a crit, there are a couple of reasons you're able to narrow down very quickly as to why these particular people would be chosen. Songbird is a mercenary. She is his personal mercenary, and she is usually sent after people to send a message. You two have been getting settled into the town. You're not entirely aware of the gang power players quite yet, outside of what the obvious big two. I know there are two, and there are names somewhere, but my brain's farting. But you also know that this could be a message for both the gang who these people might be associated with, and for someone else. But you're unsure of who because you don't recognize the names.
That
The
makes
two
sense.
the two gangs you'd be aware of are the K&A gang, which are part of the Irish mob, and the Bruno Scarfo family, which are part of the Italian mob.
Gavin's not going to say anything, but Rosemary would know that just by the look on his face, because Gavin's not really super good at hiding things, that Gavin has some thoughts, but she'd also note that there's a lack of confidence in what it is that he's made a realization on, so he's not going to voice them out loud at this point. But he will look to Rosemary, and then he'll look to you, Songbird, and he'll say, Luca's playing a really dangerous game right now. Pissing in somebody's oatmeal when he is half half a continent away. He also doesn't do distance very well. But he's all the way over there, sending her to kill people in a city that he has no ties to that I know of. I don't recognize the names, anything like that. I don't know what the fuck it is that he thinks he's doing, but I don't know, maybe he doesn't know if there's a big kindred presence here. He could be totally starting shit with an entire, not only with an entire family of gangsters, but also with with whatever kindred could be behind them. God, what a fucking idiot. Unless he, and then he thinks about it for a moment. I don't know, maybe he was hired. Maybe he knows somebody here that hired him to do a job, and seeing as that we're here, Songbird just gets to be the convenient one. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, fuck, for all I know, Luca just wants to get off on it. Gavin just kind of doesn't finish that sentence.
We're going shopping because you need us for the job.
Yeah, I didn't bring any of my white ones.
Luca likes proof of kill. I don't know why it is that he started this with her, but made her wear white. And seeing as it is that a good hit requires you to be up close and personal, make sure that the job is taken care of. You know, combination of blood splatter and gun stippling from powder. You know, makes for good proof that you actually did the job and did it right. Gavin kinda has an idea of why it is that Luca does it this way. He just doesn't want to voice it because it makes him really angry. Because Gavin basically believes that Luca likes to debase Louisa and make her like. And yeah, Gavin's just like. um. One moment, sweetling. It's gonna turn to Rose. Luca will make our lives a living hell if we don't let her. Man's got reach. There's people that he knows, and if he thinks that we're stepping out of line and taking care of her and interfering, he will... I don't want to think about what it is that he'll be willing to do to assert his authority. Evident that he can assert it from this. This is my recommendation. We'll go out, we'll get her a white suit, we'll get her some other things too as well. But I'm gonna help her with these jobs. I'm gonna need your help too, for damage control. Make sure that this doesn't spill back on Songbird or on us. And I might talk to a few people on the board of directors. Or maybe you can. Actually, it's probably better if you did.
I can talk.
See if we can get an idea of who these fuckers are and whose oatmeal we're about ready to piss in. But at that point, he'll look right back to Songbird and he'll say, "This is the last job you're doing for him. If he wants you to work, he can fucking come out here and be with us. Otherwise, he's not getting to send you any more phones. No more vials either."
Okay.
You're out here to learn to be a kindred and get into your own, go through accounting proper.
You
He
know
wants...
darn well that just telling her not to drink those vials is not going to be enough to keep her from drinking the vials. And I don't want to hear it not now. This is real.
Would just like to let her have her own mind for once.
I would
But
love that for her too. But let's think about this. Luca is sending her vials. She is a fledgling under our accounting. You know how long accounting is for our clan. And you know what a typical accounting looks like.
Gavin gets this look on his face, and he will go. It's very much it's an ugly look. Not like he's like not anything directed at Rosemary. More like the situation in general. Like the situation is ugly.
He gets it.
But he'll look over at Songbird, and then he'll look and he says, "I mean, we'll have to make sure that anything else he sends gets intercepted. I need to screen all of our mail. Maybe we should talk to our shadow. See if we can make sure that anything that gets sent to their Coterie Haven from Chicago to her gets processed too. We don't have to give her every detail, but we should make sure that Louisa doesn't get anything else from Luca. And when the time comes and her bond has waned, we're gonna have to let it wane all the way.
Yeah.
It's gonna be painful for her, but then fine, you can do it."
Rosemary and Gavin, roll me an intelligence plus politics, please.
Yeah, God.
Gavin has many thinky thoughts. He has no thinky thoughts about politics, though.
Rosemary's not the super smart one. She's the witty one. She's not the super smart one.
Mm, you know what? Gavin's got willpower to spend.
Damn.
Jesus.
They
Dice
really
loves
want
you tonight. Gee.
they really
I
want
had
Gavin to
I
know the
I
things.
I just wanted to see if y'all would remember this because I only set the difficulty to 1, but I wanted to see if you get a crit. So I waited. Um, both of you, as you kind of fall into silence and think more about this, the names sound like they are from both Italian, Irish, and probably another family. Like they could be. Tilly Hall sounds like they could be from anywhere. But you would be able to remember. You would know that kindred within the city. Both of you would remember that the prince is vocally Irish. Gavin, you would remember that there are quite a few kindred that are involved with both the K&A gang and the Bruno Scarfo family within the city. You haven't met them personally or done any introductions with them yet, and they vary ranking throughout the city. But you would also know that from your various contacts from the pier and all that, and as you are trying to dig your way further underground, you haven't heard these names.
That reassures Gavin. That reassures Gavin a little bit. Like he's like, okay, okay. He'll breathe out an unnecessary sigh of relief. His composure's cracking a little bit because his hunger's gone up. Fangs drop a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. But he'll look and he says, okay, so. He kind of taps his temple. I've been checking in with the families around here. You know, doing what I do. Um, fairly certain that these names, if I would have heard them associated with the families in town, I would have heard it by now. And they're not. Doesn't mean that they aren't. Might be just really quiet. But if they're not associated with the families, then we might be okay. But we still need to be cautious about this. So I'm still going to work with you on these one. All right? Be like old times, like back in Chicago. Gavin's gonna lick If's fangs for a moment or two. But, you know what? Let's, let's get to those boutique stores. Let's see what we can
Yeah.
do. Okay?
Also, the phone he gave me doesn't take pictures, so I might need to get a Polaroid to send them back to him.
I still got mine, and I still have film for it, so you can use mine. Gavin's gonna roll his eyes.
Me. Or do I send the suits back? And she'll start like muttering this out loud, like, how do I send the proof?
No. No. We're just gonna take pictures, and we'll think of something. Because it's probably not a good idea for us to send any kind of proof to him. Because we'll figure it out, all right, kid?
He wasn't specific on the delivery, so he will get what we give him.
Exactly.
Okay.
Um, as basically they're probably getting ready to go out to the Hornet to go drive off. Um, e- like much like Louisa was taught, Gavin was taught to always be ready. Um, and he will go grab his special duffel bag that has all of his toys in there. Although he will add something a little bit extra, you'll see him actually pull out his really nice lockpick set. And then he'll pull that out and he'll just kind of stuff it to the inner coat pocket. With that look on his face of, God, I hope I don't have to do any work tonight, but on the other hand, he'll go over and give Rosemary a kiss on the cheek and kind of like put his forehead on hers for a moment or two, like squinting his eyes or like closing his eyes and being very frustrated in the moment. Like, you can feel that tension.
He would just sort of play with his hair.
Hey, you want to drive tonight?
Yes.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. He will. Don't make me regret this. He'll toss her his. He will toss her his keys.
And she's gonna happy dance and attempt to catch the keys. Probably stumble a bit. She was happy dancing and then rush out to the car.
Okay. So, Songbird, you're driving to Okay. Did they give you the address?
Yeah.
Do you just like enter it into the GPS?
Yeah.
Okay. Songbird, describe how you usually drive to me, and I will tell you what to roll.
Like a getaway driver. Because she was taught two things: get the job done and then get out of there quickly.
So you are swerving between lanes and speeding.
Yeah, but not speeding like in getting away. Like, she's still gonna maneuver
Mm-hmm.
because she still doesn't know these roads well enough yet to speed. But she will go above the speed limit, just not like gotta go fast. She ain't drifting.
Okay. Give me a. Let me look at your sheet. Give me a dex or wits plus drive.
We're gonna go with Dex. That gives me more dice. Okay, I got 4 successes.
That meets the difficulty.
Eee!
For all of your compunction with driving quickly and moving between lanes, so Rosemary and Gavin would notice that Songbird is a surprisingly careful driver. It's almost like she is trying to get to know the roads before she's looking. It's like learning the rules of a place. You have to know them before you can bend them. Do y'all have any conversation in the car?
Songbird would probably be too focused on the road. Because this
Okay.
is the first time she's driven in Philadelphia.
Gavin's just sitting there relaxing. He's done 2 major thinky thoughts today, so his brain is cooking, and he needs to give it a break. If his blood could boil, his face would probably be red, and you could crack an egg and fry it on his like forehead or something like that.
Aw.
So he is doing his best not to have any more thinky thoughts right now.
Mhm.
It means to toss him a ball.
Rosemary's singing.
So as y'all get to the boutique, it is one of the ones that's open much later. There are various attendants inside. It's very high end. Rosemary, you're very familiar with these kind of boutiques. So are you, Gavin. Songbird, even after 5 years of this, it's still pretty alien to you.
I forget that this is where rich people shop.
And Gavin will lean forward and he says, "Yeah, one day you'll get to shop here more often. And you work hard and you earn it. You're doing a good job so far. We should go and see, we should go to the club and, your new club and hear you sing. I miss hearing you sing."
Well, I'm hoping to start at another one soon. It's really nice.
Oh, you want to open your own club here in Philly?
Maybe.
Oh, there you go. Proud of you, kiddo.
I was gonna ask Il Principe if there was any like abandoned places that I could take over.
Hmm. You know, you could do that. I mean, start from the ground up. Or you could just find a place that is currently like down in the dumps, you know, needs some work, some tender love and care, and they're looking to sell cheap. Might work out too as well.
Maybe. But I want to open like a big place.
I mean, yeah,
Like back at home.
I know. Hmm. Gavin's gonna randomly chomp on Rosemary. Just grabs arm, chomps.
You know what? She's just not even going to respond. Like, she's just like, yeah, that's the thing he does sometimes, I guess. Hungry?
Energetic. Probably
Mm.
gonna have to. He'll
I was told
well,
there's a place that we can go practice shooting. That is.
really?
Yeah,
Where?
the sheriff told me. And she'll try to remember the name of the place because she didn't sing a tune to remember the place. But she told me when we went to the sparring thing at Smashbox, there was
Smash.
a lot of. Yeah, that's why I came back in a lot of glitter. The sheriff really likes her glitter. And apparently we weren't glittered enough. But I was okay with that. I'm used to glitter.
Hmm.
She's also the one that gave me the stickers, and she'll, before getting, she'll open the bag to show the Tommy gun now covered in Philadelphia stickers.
The sheriff sounds very interesting.
She also seemed to really be paying attention to Maddie. I don't know why. She also kept making a lot of comments to Maddie while we were sparring. But I was more trying to like help Maddie like get better at defense because she seems really shy and really skittish. I told you she flipped me, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Impressive.
definitely. Well, looks like we're gonna have to work on your hand-to-hand skills some more.
Oh, well, I was teaching her how to do hand to hand and how to get out of a hold, and then I tried to like do another one to surprise her, to be
Mm-hmm.
like always expect the unexpected, and then that's when she flipped me.
Those warlocks, they can be very perceptive, and sometimes they can see things coming before you even do it. So, and maybe she can do stuff like that.
Maybe we really didn't talk about a lot of this stuff. Well, we kind of did, but like we didn't really go into it. She seems
That's all
really
right.
smart.
I'll get there.
She was really excited about the museum. They were all really excited
Mm.
about the museum. We have a butterfly room.
Precious.
A blue one landed on me.
Oh, actual real butterflies? I thought you were in
Yeah.
a natural history museum. I was thinking like it was one of those like creepy like insect places, kind of like
I
the
mean, they did have that, and they were drawing pictures. Her and Cal did really good drawings of them.
oh
Also, I think there's a ghost there that she was talking to, but he wasn't
what?
leaving, and it was making her angry.
Um,
He just wanted to work.
he's gonna look back like, what do you think I don't know either.
He just is kind of like he'll put a arm around Rosemary's waist as we're walking in, and he'll just be like,
It
"Stay
was
on
really interesting
here."
watching her like talk to him too, because like we couldn't hear his side, but he just wanted to stay there and kept telling her that he wanted to work, and she was getting mad because he wouldn't leave.
Rosemary just sort of leans into Gavin, and at this point, she's like, "I'm just gonna let her talk."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that like she'll continue on like about things that
Mm-hmm.
happened that night. She'll tell him that she knocked Gavin on his ass, and then that's when she
Mm-hmm.
got really hungry.
You mean
Oh, not
Cal,
Gavin,
right?
Cal. And then she'll be like, and then that's when I went home after Natasha helped me go get food, which I met a girl the other night when I was hanging out with a friend.
Oh,
And I've kind of been like eating off of her. Well, she would use a more masquerade term. I've been kind of like eating with her.
okay.
She bought me drinks. And my friend. And then yeah,
She
you go.
she she one of those that likes it when you eat with her.
Yeah, and she really likes jazz.
Probably need to start working on making sure that you have a regular group of friends that you can go eat with.
Yeah, I mean, she likes to hang out a lot, or she says she wants to hang out more, so I guess that's a start.
Yeah, just
Sure.
be careful. You know, don't want to eat with her too much. You
I
might
know.
get
I don't want to repeat of Chicago. I know. I don't want to get kicked out of another city.
Not gonna
Good.
happen because we're going to make sure it doesn't happen.
For those in the beta chat, both Abby and Kosa made a face.
Mm. We don't, do we?
Hmm.
And then
Imagine as
after
you
I-
are having the
Yeah.
imagine as you are having this conversation, Songbird is trying on various suits
Yeah.
and outfits and is coming out to model them. And this is just another Tuesday for Gavin, but Rosemary is actually giving feedback on the outfits.
Oh yeah, very very detailed and particular feedback.
Making sure that the fingers go to the hem.
Gavin did
Mhm.
bring something in with him, though. He has a set of flashcards numbered 1 through 10, and depending on what Songbird comes out with, he'll like hold up like a 10 or maybe a 7 or a 3. They're all drawn in his handwriting and whatnot, because basically he doesn't know much about fashion. Most of the clothing he has is from Rosemary. And so, but he can appreciate looks, so he's just like, I don't like this one, so he'll like give it a 3.
And of course she'll try to like sneak on like some of the more scandalous outfits.
No.
I like this.
No.
I really like this one
This
though.
isn't-
It's really pretty.
It's lovely, but it is not for what we're doing here today.
I know, but you
Thank
said we were getting other stuff too.
First, we'll get the necessary stuff, then we'll do the fun stuff, all right?
Okay.
Now twirl.
And then it would probably be around this time she'd be like, and then that was when I got the text about the T-Rex being missing.
Who the fuck wants to steal a T-Rex? Like,
I
seriously, how do you steal a T-Rex?
I mean, it was
No.
pretty impressive. I think, if I remember correctly, Maddie's friend from that works under her family, he said that it was like one of the only fossils that was like a complete rendition fossil-wise of in the exhibit and didn't have like fake ones. I didn't know they put fake bones on dinosaurs in museums.
What? They're not real?
Not all of them, but apparently the T-Rex was all real bones. And
I
our
mean,
museum was borrowing it.
that don't get found.
Wait, what about Sue? Is Sue real? Sue being the T-Rex that's actually in the Chicago Natural History Museum, which was found in South Dakota, fun fact.
Yeah, she was at the Children's Museum here for a while. Sorry.
No. Katie also wants to fan about that because neurodivergent. I don't
We're a
know.
dinosaur Ventru family.
We all thought we were fish themed. Nope. Plot twist.
We're dinosaurs.
We're the dinosaur
Right.
neurodivergent Ventru.
So we all do T-Rex hands in the chat. I don't know if Sue is real or not, but I was told by Maddie and her friend that not all fossils that we see in the museums are the actual real bones. They're replicas and they're fakes. And then they were pointing out the fake ones from the real ones on other models, but they all look the same to me. And that's when we went into the other rooms. But yeah,
Who needs
Is
an
that-
entire T-Rex?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Gavin is flabbergasted, honestly. He's just like, I don't get it. And now he's starting to worry a little bit, and he's just like, do you think that the shark fossils are fake too? Kind of like a hopeful look of please don't spoil it. Please don't say that they aren't.
If they were fake and pointed out, Songbird would attempt to lie and be like, no, I think those are real.
Rosemary would just like put a hand on his face, like, no, they're real. They're real.
Those ones are not specifically gone over at the museum, so I'm not going to make y'all roll to lie or persuade on this one.
She's just like, I think so. It might have been. I kind of zoned out when he started really, like, they started really, really getting into it. I think they're like really big history nerds. And I say that in like not a mean way, because like, I don't know if that would be considered a mean turn to her. I should ask Maddie if she is okay with being called a nerd. But they were starting to like really get into it, and I kind of zoned out. I just know that the T-Rex was all like one of the ones that was all real. Because they were like really, really talking about it.
Well, that's the only one that is probably important enough to talk about at the moment, since that's the one that poofed.
Yeah.
So weird.
So,
So
are you enjoying your time with this new group of people that you're hanging out? This Cal and Maddie and all them?
Yeah, but they're all really young. Like, I'm the oldest. And then Percy's the second oldest. Maddie was only like, and she'll like go into like really whisper, like she's fresh. And Cal isn't even a year yet.
Hmm.
oh yeah.
I'm treating you all right, right? Haven't been giving you a hard time or anything?
I don't think so. Cal checked in on me after the thing, and we all got a group chat now. Well, that's because we all got those phones that we were given.
Mm.
He also gave me a nickname.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh?
he calls me Nightingale, or Gale for short.
It's precious. Mm,
Glad you guys are getting along.
that's good.
Though Percy did go back and desecrate some graves after our first job. To do more
Uh-huh.
research on the thing that Miss Natasha wanted us to look into. Well, I'm not really happy about that, because she had to go dig up a grave. Would we be able to send money to the church to help them like take care of it? Because it looked unkept as well. And she'll start to fiddle with her cornicello and her cross.
Yeah. Seeing that, Rosemary go, yeah, we can make a donation.
Yeah, I was about to say that kind of stuff is important, and groundspeople need pay too. So we could definitely do that.
Well,
Louisa,
Could you?
Mhm.
Oh,
you would be aware that at the moment that church is undergoing renovations.
Yeah, it's currently undergoing renovations, from what I've been told. I think they called someone to help afterwards.
noted. Um, it this thing that you guys are doing, is this kind of on the down low? You sure you can be talking about this kind of stuff?
I mean, it's the stuff that Natasha has our little group doing.
Ah, okay. I'm just
So
don't want you to.
I would imagine I'd be allowed to share it at least with you two. And it seems like some of the people that I went on that job with,
Mhm.
the one that you guys don't want me alone with, Miss
Mm.
yeah, Miss Lenka with anymore. It seems like they're also investigating similar things. Though
Oh.
the thing that they found while we were on that job, and I was hanging out with Mr. Q's friends, and trying to make sure they were safe. It wasn't the same as the one we found at the cemetery, but it was at the same time. It was made of different things.
Are we making the assumption here that Luis has actually told Gavin and Rosemary about the plants that were
Mhm.
found at the church?
She would have told you about the first job because she would have been so proud that none of them got hurt. They didn't make a mess. They didn't get caught.
Gavin is just like plants that move on their own. What are they, like Venus flytraps? Like, goes right over his head. He just kind of like,
I can tell you more in the car if you want.
okay.
Yeah. Would love to know more about that.
Okay. And she'll go and try on some more clothes.
Rosemary just gives a wide-eyed look at Gavin, like,
Gavin's
Your
just like,
child has been up to a lot.
he'll just basically be like very low in Italian, like, you haven't even been here that long, and it just sounds like this. She's getting herself up into a whole bunch of different things.
yeah. She'd respond back in Italian. That's the start of everything here? What else is she possibly going to get into?
All I know is that we should like plan for a vacation later. I've actually been looking up to see if there's actually any surfing spots on the Atlantic coast. Not nearly as much as I'd hope. I miss California. But
We'll get you some time.
I thought maybe we could find some time to get out of town and, relax one night, hit up like some sort of boardwalk and kind of like kind of like I've told you stories about the Santa Monica Pier, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure they got stuff like that out here and on the West Coast or here on the East Coast. Probably not in Philly. Probably have to go outside the city for that one.
I like it. Sounds good to me, Sailor. And she'd give him a kiss on the nose.
Yeah, he will legitimately laugh and kind of wiggle his nose, and then right after that, he will lightly baw at her like a sheep. He does that every time he gets kissed on the nose. He will make a sheep sound at her.
Uh-huh.
She'll just smile and turn around waiting for Songbird to come out in another outfit.
Yeah, it would probably be like one of the suits they picked out at this point.
I like this one. What do you think of it?
Gavin will pull out like he's like having a hard time, and then he'll pull out what looks like to be a 6, and he's like, "Oh, it's upside down," and then it's a 9.
It's got pants and pockets.
Yeah. Oh, ooh, then he changes it to a 10.
Very important.
Pockets are really important. Rosemary keeps telling me, like, both of you get really excited when you guys find dresses with pockets in it.
Yeah,
So
because they don't
obviously,
make pockets in dresses anymore.
it's
All we
Also, I
want
think
is
people
pockets.
are getting a little alarmed when I pull, and she'll pull out the boob gun. Like she's been testing with the boob gun. Like,
Put that.
Sweetling. I know that you are well endowed enough for that, but would you let me get you a thigh holster or something along those lines, so
but
that
I got a conceal carry, and this is pretty concealed.
yeah, yes, it is. Okay.
That's also why I have the big bag, because I can't hide the big one.
You know what? You know what? No, I'm here for the boob pocket. I get it. She'll just kind of adjust herself. Like, yeah, I get it. No. Do you
You can
think?
put so many things in there.
Do you think he could fit a booby trap in there?
Probably. I don't know what kind of booby trap, but we could hide a booby trap in there. Are you talking about like a bear trap kind of booby trap?
Yeah, just smiles.
Rosemary just kind of smirks at him, and it's like, Wouldn't you like to know?
I mean, he'll like dive at her a little bit and kind of like play tickle and whatnot, and then try to, sneak a hand in there. Probably get slapped away a couple of times and whatnot, but
It's just a normal Tuesday. It's just a normal Tuesday. Thornbush. Like, this happens a lot.
Okay. As y'all are picking out and choosing what you buy, they all get packaged up. They get very neatly boxed up and they get very nicely wrapped in tissue paper. They put in fancy boxes and put on fancy hangers and within protective coverings.
It's a really fancy place.
Very fancy. Even the tissue paper smells vaguely perfumed.
Only the best for you.
I mean,
As
she
y'all
would
are
be the first shop.
exiting the boutique, please give me a wits and awareness.
All of us?
Yes.
Oh, that was dangerously close.
Heightened senses with it?
Yes.
I got 2.
Nice.
You know what?
Nice.
I haven't spent any willpower tonight. We're going to go ahead and do that.
Go, crit the
Why
shame.
not?
For a second, I thought,
Gavin's not gonna do anything with that.
You don't want to risk the messy crit?
risk it, risk it, risk it.
We're not doing that today.
Not with Gavin's
Okay.
luck.
So, the difficulty was 2. But there's a sliding scale of how much you see, because I need a bit of a minimum. When you get to the car, you will notice 3 out of the 4 tires are slashed. And Rosemary, you will notice that there is something carved into the bumper. Would you like a closer inspection?
Oh, 100%.
As you get closer to the bumper of Gavin's car, you will see the word carved into it, Breacher.
Rosemary would make Gavin aware of it. Point it out.
Gavin's already fucking livid that somebody touched his car. Like, the
touched
moment that he's like the whole like slashing his tires, he's already like really super angry about that. And then when Rosemary shows him the bumper, Gavin lets out just a snarl like growl, just like really loud, really like angry. His fist will like ball up, and what little blush that he usually has in his skin's gonna go white because he's just like clenching his fist so hard.
And with that, do y'all have anything further to say? Or shall we wrap up this session?
Nah, I ain't got nothing.
All right. Then we shall wrap up this session of Philly by Night.